Good morning. I am dressed and ready to head to clinical.
Now I'm looking down from up in the sky. I don't like it. Oh, I've been without you for all this time.
And welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another weekly vlog. I am on my way to clinical. I just stopped to get my large dark roast from Dunkin' Donuts. You know what's so funny? Every time I go to Dunkin' Donut, I have to specify that no cream, no sugar, and the person usually giggles. Like whoever's taking the order is usually like giggling, or they'll ask, "Are you sure? No cream, no sugar?" And I'm like, "I'm very sure." And then one time, one of the attendants told me that usually people get 10 packets of sugar, and I'm like, I don't want diabetes. You guys know I'm in FNP school, and I'm currently doing my clinical rotation at a very busy medical practice. It's a primary care physician who has a very large practice, who has 1 million patients. He sees like 22 to 25 patients daily. And from the moment I get in there, when he arrives, we are just on the go, on the go, on the go. So I am hoping with drinking this black coffee and with constantly being on the go that I can shed a few pounds, because this man does not stop. I literally don't take lunch until like 2:30 in the afternoon. Take a quick 30-minute break, eat lunch, drink some water, and we're back at it again. Because in the morning time, he sees patients in person, and then the second half of his day is to see patients on televisits, which is very cool. And the technology he has in his office, very, very, very amazing. I'm really impressed. My goal, my purpose, not really my goal, but going to nurse practitioner school for me is not really to get into primary care or internal medicine. I really want to pivot at some point in my career and go into the beauty industry. I have always had a thing for like hair, makeup, products, like I just love beauty. My goal is to possibly own my own spa salon. Like that's a big thing for me. I love the smell of shampoo. I just like the atmosphere of what a bunch of women being in a space getting beautified. I just love the energy that brings. I remembered when I was in high school and I had a job working at a beauty salon, and I was the receptionist. And I just love that Saturday morning feel when everyone would come in. And the thing is, growing up in New York, the hair salons, a lot of them are open early in the morning. They're open at 7 a.m. on a Saturday, ready for business. And it would be like an all-day session of like laughs, giggles, gossip, keeping up with pop culture, highly opinionated women putting in their 2 cents. I just love that atmosphere. And my goal is to hopefully recreate something like that. From my last video, a lot of you had questions about this hair. So this is a wig that I'm wearing. It is a glueless wig, meaning that I don't have to like apply glue on my edges to keep it, you know, to keep it on, even though I can. It's glueless, and this wig is actually from a nurse-owned company. I have a friend, her name is Edlisha. She is a registered nurse. She owns a hair company as her side business. And this is my 3rd time purchasing a wig from her. And the quality of the wigs are amazing. I think I did link it in the last video, but I'm going to link it again in this video. The name of her company is Audacious Beauty, and you can find her really on Instagram. There you can actually look through and see the different styles, but the wigs are really amazing. Like I highly, highly, highly recommend them.
Can't help myself. You like candy, you like liquid.
Just pulled up, so I'm going to grab my bag, my lab coat, and of course a bottle of water because I need to stay hydrated throughout the shift. Everyone laughs at me because I carry this big old, the Telfar. I carry the travel size one because I always tell people this is my office. I have a lot going on, so this is my office. Weather in Maryland, it has been amazing for the past 3 days. Right now, I think it's like 42 degrees. The sun is out. I'm not even wearing a jacket. That's how wonderful it is. I know today is going to be crazy. It's always a busy day at the clinic. And I'm a little bit behind because, you know, every time we come to clinic as a nurse practitioner student, we have to do case studies and case logs. I am severely behind. I never get a chance to document here or even after because once I leave here, I have class. I should take the stairs.
You taste so sweet, I can't help myself. You like candy, you like liquid honey. Oh, ah. We're moving places I can't control. I don't know how to be without you. I don't feel whole. Look what
Lunchtime. It's 2 o'clock and super busy this morning, but it's non-stop, back to back to back, patients after patients after patients. I am finished clinical for the day. It is 5:10 to be exact. At 4:45, I finished the last visit, and then the doctor was like, Kendra, do you want to see another patient? And I was like, no, I have class at 6. So I am headed home now. I'm going to try to get something to eat and jump right on Zoom because we don't meet in person all the time. My classes are on Zoom Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and today's Wednesday. So off to class I go. I'm probably not going to get back on tonight. I work tomorrow. I think I work on the ICU tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Guess whose shift got canceled this morning? Mine. I was in my good sleep. 5 a.m. my phone started ringing. And I had a feeling they were going to cancel me too. It was the ICU night shift assistant manager letting me know that they have to cancel me because they have too many nurses on staff today. And I was like, I was going to ask if they needed help on any other unit, but I decided not to. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to go into clinical and accumulate more hours. For this class, I have to get 120 hours by May 16th. And right now I'm only at 24, but she will get it done, okay? I have it all planned out. It's all laid out. Initially, I was only going twice a week, and then we had spring break. But now that one of the other students, she's completed her hours because she started way before me, I'm just going to pick up an extra day. So instead of going 2 days a week, I'll be going 3 days starting next week so I can rev it up. All right, y'all, my hair is done. I am ready. And I put on a little bit of makeup. But before I go, I need to open this box, which I already started opening. It is a gift I had the privilege of receiving from Dossier. And Dossier is a perfume company. I am trying to see where the lighting is better. And I think this looks a lot better, right? Our backyard is like a forest. Everyone is like, you guys live in the forest. And I'm like, I know, but it's beautiful in the summertime. I'll share it with you guys when outside gets warmer, because this spring I am planning on being a green thumb person, okay? My gardening is what I'm looking forward to. But Dossier sent me 2 fragrances. They allowed me to pick the fragrances that I wanted. So here are the 2 boxes. The first one is the Floral Rhubarb, and it is inspired by Marc Jacobs' Perfect Eau de Parfum. And of course, you know, these days on social media, I have learned so much about perfumes, like the layering of scents, the different notes. In this specific one right here, the top notes include orange blossom, peach, rhubarb. Then there's something called the middle notes that includes daffodil, milky accord, narcissus. And then there's the base notes that includes cedarwood, blonde woods, and musks. And basically the Dossier perfumes, they're made after a lot of the designer scents, which are priced at a very high, let me fix this. They're priced so high. So this first bottle is, this is the Floral Rhubarb, and this is the one that is supposed to mimic the Marc Jacobs. So, ooh, this smells so good. No, this really smells good. I'm not going to spray it on myself, only because I am going to the clinic. And of course, like I said, as, well, I don't think I said it, but as a nurse working in a clinical setting, especially in the hospitals, I do not wear any perfumes. I don't wear any scented lotions, because things like that can trigger off an asthmatic. It can cause a patient to go into respiratory distress, and I don't want any of those problems. The second one is, what is this one? Floral Jasmine, and this one is inspired by Tom Ford Jasmine Rouge Eau de Parfum. And the top notes in this one is cardamom, bergamot, and pepper. The middle notes are jasmine, sambac, lang lang, broom flower. And the base notes are clary sage, vanilla, and labdanum. I don't know what any of those things mean, but it's so amazing. Like I said, I didn't know all of that went into the making of scents. And here's this bottle right here. Ooh, this one smells really good too. I can't wait to spray it to see what it smells like on me, because you know, perfume apparently smells different on everyone depending on your body's chemistry. But between the two of these, I don't know, they're running neck and neck. This one is so good. The floral rhubarb, so floral. I think this one might end up being my favorite. The other one is good too, don't get me wrong, but that one, the Marc Jacobs one, the one that smells like Marc Jacobs Perfect Eau de Parfum, smells amazing. So I want to thank Dossier for sending me these scents. You guys are going to have me smelling good all spring and all summer long when I'm not at work. Thank you, Dossier. Now I'm going to head out. I'm just making sure I have everything I need, including my debit card, which for whatever reason always seems to be somewhere else. And I didn't have any leftovers from dinner last night, so at the clinic today when we get lunch, I will be eating some raspberries, and I also have like half an avocado that I'm going to eat, along with my bottle of water that I didn't get to finish yesterday. Also, y'all, I am still taking my blood pressure medicine, the amlodipine, 5 milligrams. For those of you who just started watching my channel back in January, it was discovered that my blood pressure was through the roof. And when I say through the roof, my systolic was in the 190s, 170s to 190s. Now, based on the American Heart Association and cardiovascular guidelines, that top number is supposed to be less than 130, 130 and below. If you're 130 and above, you're considered, I think, pre-hypertensive or hypertensive. I need to double check. We were talking about it in class last night, so I need to double check. But I am still taking the amlodipine, which is a very low dose blood pressure medicine. So for my blood pressure ranges right now, the top number anywhere from the high 130s to 140s. So it's still not ideally where I want it to be or where it was last year, but I reduced my sodium intake, which was minimal anyway at baseline. Could be a genetic component as well. I also started ramping up my cardio, but I fell off, okay? Since clinical school, I kind of fell off, but I'm about to start back getting it because outside is warming up. Instead of going to the gym, I'll be starting to do my neighborhood walks. So, and then aside from that, I also take this Moon Juice Super U supplement, and it has like ashwagandha. What else does it have? Ashwagandha, I don't know, a whole bunch of other herbal stuff, okay? I take one in the morning and I take one in the evening, and I think it helps me feel good. Last but not least, I also take vitamin D. These are 5,000 units each. I take 10,000 units a day, which is equivalent to about 70,000 units weekly, which is a very high dose because my vitamin D levels are always low. And with the winter time, the seasonal depression, I need for that vitamin D level to be optimum level. Lab coat is still in the car, and outside is chilly today. I don't think it's going to be as nice as it was yesterday. So I am wearing my infamous winter jacket. My daughter is like, my oldest daughter, she's like, Mommy, you've been having that jacket for like the past 6 years. She's like, when are you going to get a new winter jacket? And I said, I think this is the last winter for it because the zipper is starting to rip. I bought this jacket on sale from J. Crew a couple years ago. And let me tell you, this thing withstands snow. It withstands rain. It's warm. It has like a hoodie that's warm. It's mid-length, so it covers like my bottom and keeps me warm all winter time. The room and turn off the heat, because we can heat each room individually. I had to turn it off because the gas and electric bill came the other day, and it is high like New York City rent, okay? We were like, what is going on? Why is the bill so high? Outside definitely is not giving what it gave yesterday. The sun is out, but it's cold. So I am back home from clinical. I left at 5 o'clock today. Productive day, even though my plan was to go to work, but you know, God had other plans. So I'm happy I went in, saw some patients, got clinical hours, and still was able to get some clinical logs. I'm waiting for my daughters to get here because we have to go to Target. I need to get new sponges and dishcloths. Like, I don't know. I go through sponges like it's no tomorrow. You guys see the time? 8:36 p.m. That is the time I'm just driving up the block from leaving work. So I think I told you guys before that when I was a new nurse and I would leave late, I would think that I was the problem. But shortly after I found out I'm not the problem, I'm not the drama, there's not much more I can do to be efficient and to prioritize. I'm already doing a good job, and yet still, as an experienced nurse with 13 years under my belt, here I am leaving at 8:30 is when I punched out. It's 8:47, and guess where I'm at? I just stopped off in the KFC drive-thru, and I guess I'm not the only one stressed out because the drive-thru is packed. But just let me give you guys a synopsis of how my day went and the madness that goes on med-surg units, and why a lot of nurses frown upon working in med-surg, and why even students coming out of school do not necessarily want to work in med-surg, because med-surg nursing is rough. Med-surg should be its own special. So much is expected and so much is put on med-surg nurses that the expectations are impossible. So listen to my day today. I started off with 4 patients, right? 4. 2 of them are incontinent, meaning that they have to be changed if they have a bowel movement or if they're wet from urine. I have to change them. I had a technician assigned to the both of them, but the entire unit was filled with so many total care patients. I can't always wait for the technician to come help me. If I'm able to change my patients by myself, I just go ahead and I do it. I don't call. I don't leave my patients sitting in urine and stool waiting for help. Once I can turn them, we're good. And I'm pretty good at repositioning and turning my patients. So 2 incontinent patients that needed to be turned, that needed to get meds, that needed wound care, right? Okay, good. Then I have another patient who is completely with it, is able to walk, but recently had surgery. So pain is an issue, meaning that I have to keep on top of his pain. Every 4 hours, I'm giving pain medicine. If I'm not on top of it, it gets out of control, and then it's harder for the patient to recover because it's going to be an issue. Then who else? Then I had another patient. There's always one patient that's going to get ignored regardless. And when I say ignored, it meaning that I probably saw that man 3 or 4 times in a 12-hour shift because he didn't call, he didn't require much, gave him his meds when it was due, and he was self-care. He could get up, go to the bathroom, his blood pressure, everything was good. But then my patient who had the pain issue, they transferred him off to another unit to make space for a new patient. So I'm getting the new admission, right? So I now have to keep up with the patients that I have in addition to the new admission that's coming. And the new admission is a stroke. So on this particular unit, we have to go downstairs with the charge nurse to pick the patient up from the ER. That admission wasn't ready for me until about 5:30 in the evening. So at 5:30, it's busy. I'm due to give meds. I have to cover finger sticks. I have to check my patients to make sure they're dry. But now I have to leave the floor to go to the ER to pick a patient up who's a stroke patient. So who is going to have a lot of things going on, right? Go downstairs, bring that patient back up, have to do an entire assessment, check his skin, just a whole bunch of stuff. And then other issues that's going on with the patients that I have. So with finishing up my documentation, making sure my patients are dry before I leave, writing notes to cover my behind because one patient had 2 issues that I had to make sure that I write a good solid 2-paragraph note to explain any of the gray areas, because in nursing, not everything is black and white. There's a lot of gray areas, and sometimes you have to put pen to paper to fully clarify yourself, because you just never know. So I did that, and then that's the reason why I'm late leaving. Saturday night, 8:13 p.m. to be exact. I punched out at 8 o'clock. I'm already in my car on the way home. I just pulled over for a quick second. I know the reason why I leave late most of the times, whenever I do. It's because I actually make it my duty to give full soap and water baths to my patients. Like, my patients get a spa treatment every time I work. I don't compromise that, especially if I'm in the ICU and I only have 2 patients. Oh, you're getting the soap and water bath. The hospital likes for us to use wipes, like baby wipes, to clean the patients, to bathe the patients. But for me, I just can't in my mind fathom being sick, laid up in a bed, and somebody's trying to bathe me with baby wipes. If I can't conceive it in my mind, it's not possible. So I give soap and water bath, and when I'm done, I'll wipe the patient down with what they call CHG wipes, and that's basically to minimize any kind of skin infection and bacteria. And what I've learned to do is I never reuse the basin. So if I work today and I give my patient a bath, I'll toss the basin out. And if I work again tomorrow, I'll get a brand new basin, because infection control, right? But that's the reason why I leave late most of the time, because I can't, like, I always have to make sure that I bathe my patients. I don't feel good. Like, my conscience bothers me, like, oh man, I didn't get a chance to bathe that patient. That's just me. Every single nurse develops their own practice and what's important to them as a nurse. That's one of the things for me that's very important. But I'm headed home now. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to be off. It's Palm Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to make it to church. I'll try. But I'll close this vlog out tonight. And I'll see you guys in the next video or in the next vlog.